What's up, everybody? Should we be expecting to see Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight to take on the interim heavyweight champ, Tom Aspinall? Well, in today's video, I'm going to discuss the possibility of this matchup. Do I think it will happen? Break it down a little bit, give an early prediction in the event that this does happen, and when I think that this would take place. So first, guys, this matchup is a horrible matchup for Alex Pereira. And you guys know, if you've been following my channel, I'm a big Pereira fan. I think that the guy is I've been watching him since his Glory Kickboxing days. I think he's a sensational talent. He's very fun to watch. This is called biting off more than you can chew. And again, I'm all for it. It's very entertaining. Him moving up to a third weight class, being the first guy to maybe claim 3 belts. But however, there's some issues with this. And the issues are the UFC made a mistake by having Sergey Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall fight for the interim UFC heavyweight title. Now, if there was no interim UFC title and there was a vacant belt or something like that, I could see how this matchup makes sense. But outside of this matchup just being fun and being entertaining, I don't really know how you can make this matchup, because Tom Aspinall, he's not the heavyweight champion. He punched his ticket to fight for the heavyweight strap by winning the interim belt. But what sense does it, Poatan is the light heavyweight champion, him going up just to fight Tom Aspinall? At that point, it would just be a fun fight, which I'm all for it, like I said. But in terms of it making a lot of sense, it doesn't necessarily make any sense in that aspect. But in terms of a fight fan aspect, sign me up. This is as interesting as it gets. This is where everyone's going to doubt Poatan, and it's like, can this guy do it? We've never seen someone go from middleweight to light heavyweight to heavyweight to win 3 different belts. We've never even seen someone win a belt in 3 different weight classes. So to do it in this fashion, to come in this late in your career into mixed martial arts and doing what he did in Glory, this would probably put him into Hall of Fame status. This would put him into like a different stratosphere. And to sit there and say that he couldn't do it is crazy. I definitely give him a chance, although I will say not very likely. And the reason is, it doesn't have to do with, anything that Poatan lacks. It has to do with how good Tom Aspinall is. And I was one of the people that thought Sergey Pavlovich was going to be able to close the distance and was going to be able to kind of take away that movement from Tom Aspinall and make Tom Aspinall kind of play his game. And Aspinall would kind of, he likes to dart in and out and throw those shots. And I thought Pavlovich was going to be able to catch him. But we just saw Tom Aspinall is too fast. He's very powerful. He moves really well. The movement of Tom Aspinall, in my opinion, would be a little bit too much for Alex Pereira, because with heavyweights, we're talking about you just can't get hit. And Poatan does get hit. And again, Poatan is one of those rare guys where he does have crazy power. However, Tom Aspinall has more power, man. He has more power. He darts in and out. Now, there are some things that Poatan would be able to do that could possibly give Tom Aspinall some issues, which is Poatan. Those calf kicks, man, are a real problem, and I think that he would be able to implement those at heavyweight. The problem with Poatan as well, he doesn't move very well laterally, side to side. He kind of moves back very lazily. He has a very lazy style of defense, which, who am I? The guy's won how many belts in how many different organizations, but a lot of that has to do with he's 6'5", he's very tall, the way he's built, he's able to get away with some things. However, at heavyweight, Tom Aspinall's just as tall, he hits harder, he's very explosive, and he moves really, really well. However, those leg kicks that Poatan throws, man, all it takes is a couple of them to have you really, really compromised in terms of your movement. Now, if he can land a couple of those and stay very safe against Tom Aspinall, who knows, man? Who knows? And we can't rule out Poatan, because it seems like every time people doubt him, I haven't doubted him, but it seems like every time people doubt him and say, he can't do this, he can't do that, he goes out there and does it. So I absolutely give him a chance. However, I would probably have to say 70% Tom Aspinall and 30% Poatan, because with Poatan, it's going to depend upon, can he land those calf kicks? Can he kind of cripple the ability of Tom Aspinall, bait him in, and then eventually he does, and then he throws that left hook, because that's really Poatan's route to victory. And Tom Aspinall is incredibly fast. I don't know that there would really be a speed advantage for Poatan, because I've definitely noticed Poatan going up to light heavyweight, the speed is definitely compromised. He does not move as fast. He's not as quick. And so, again, going up to heavyweight, him putting on extra weight, which I've said in a video before, who am I? But I don't think that you should worry about packing on a ton of size. Poaton's already a big guy walking around, almost at 240 pounds. So when you add on all that weight, it's just going to make him maybe a little more lethargic, a little bit slower. The guy already has power. He already has tremendous kickboxing abilities. We know that. But at the end of the day, this is, out of all the heavyweights, this is one of the tougher matchups for Poatan Pereira, which makes it so intriguing, which makes it so crazy, which makes it so fun, which makes it so intriguing. But I would have to lean towards Tom Aspinall. Again, I would be rooting for Poatan. But Tom Aspinall is sensational, man. He's sensational. He has incredible striking. His movement is very good. He got hit from Pavlovich and was able to just bite down and kind of circle out and be patient. Was able to take some shots and it didn't seem to faze him. Those calf kicks of Poatan, though, could be a problem because heavyweights, even though Aspinall moves well, he would be in there with a guy that's lighter than him that probably might move better than him. I don't know, though, because Tom Aspinall has got some incredible movement for being a heavyweight, and he's not... he's in terms of the weight, when we're talking about heavyweights, like Aspinall's not a guy that's like really cutting down to make heavyweight, right? I mean, he's just a guy that kind of walks around at his weight. It happens to fall in the heavyweight category, and he fits in very well in terms of the power. He does have a speed advantage. Boy, is this an interesting matchup. A really intriguing matchup. I could go X's and O's with this all day long. But like I said, keys to victory for Poatan would be the calf kicks, man. If he can land a few of those, get Aspinall compromised, can't move as well, then he tries to... That's what Poatan does. He cripples your movement to where you can't move as well, then he closes you down. Or if you're chasing after him, you're able to close... You're kind of desperate now because you can't move as well, and then he's able to catch you with that left hook. But to say that Poatan would be the favorite, I don't think that that's fair. I think Tom Aspinall is outstanding. I think that his power is outstanding, his movement... He also would, that's the other thing. I think that he would also be able to take Poatan down and possibly submit him, maybe. He has very good grappling, does Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall just overall, man, I think he in every area outside of the kicking game, I think Tom Aspinall is better than Poatan. However, Poatan's a really high-level striker, man. He's a high-level kickboxer. We've seen him do it. We just haven't seen him do it at heavyweight. But I would like to think that if anyone could go up to heavyweight and do this, it would be this guy. It would be this guy because of the rare attributes that he possesses, the fact that, that left hook, the calf kicks that he's implemented into his game, the way that he's able to just kind of just get in people's faces. And we've seen what he's been able to do, man. He was able to weather the grappling onslaught of Jan Blachowicz. He was able to crippleize the movement of Yuri Prochazka. He was able to finish Yuri Prochazka, debatable whether it was an early stoppage or not. We saw what he was able to do to Israel Adesanya. Boy, is this interesting. Who would you all be leaning towards in this matchup? Do you think it happens? I think that this is actually kind of likely. I really do. Again, weird because Aspinall's the interim belt, but John Jones and Stipe Miocic, that fight Dana says is next. That's not going to take place for a while because of the injury of John Jones. Tom Aspinall wants to stay active. This is just a fan-friendly fight, man, and I think UFC 300 isn't so much about who should be fighting for what belt and what matchup makes the most sense. I think UFC 300 is just going to be decked out with fan-friendly matchups and just exciting fights to where you're like, well, I wasn't expecting that, and that's really interesting. And I think that that's what UFC 300 is going to be. But drop your early predictions below. Do you guys think this happens? And if it does, who are you leaning towards? I appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, comment below. See you in the next one.